PlayStation secured GTA exclusivity because Sony was worried about Xbox, says former boss. So, reading this headline, I thought this is actually pretty interesting, especially because a few different, gaming websites have been talking about this. And I feel like it's really interesting just because whenever you think of like the console wars in like modern day and everything like that, at the end of the day, for the most part, PlayStation won. They are the top dog between them and Microsoft. And when you read something like this, it's pretty funny because there's some people that might, not have been around during the time when this, was a kind of a thing between Xbox and PlayStation when they were when PS2 was coming out and then the first Xbox was coming out. So for anyone that doesn't know, the first Xbox actually was a pretty big game changer for its time. I remember one of my cousins, my older cousins, had an Xbox at the time, and I remember just being mind blown from how much of a difference it was from because me and I'd go to my cousins a lot, different family members that I was hang out with, and we would usually play the Super Nintendo and then the Nintendo 64. So being able to see the graphical improvements from the Nintendo 64 to the Xbox was pretty wild at the time. And seeing that PlayStation had kind of noticed that as well and decided to do an exclusivity deal with Grand Theft Auto, it makes a lot of sense, at least for me in my opinion. So I thought it was actually pretty cool and some good news to check out. So I figured it was something we can go ahead and check up on in this article. And then, as per usual, I'll give my thoughts as we go along. So, former PlayStation boss Chris Deering revealed in an interview with Games Industry Biz that the company's exclusivity deal for Grand Theft Auto was penned in preparation for the launch of the original Xbox in 2001. We were worried when we saw Xbox coming, Deering began. We knew exclusivity was the name of the game in a lot of fields, like Sky TV with sports, just as Christmas was approaching when Xbox would launch. A few of us went to our favorite third party publishers and developers and we asked them, how would you like a special deal if you kept your next generation game as a PlayStation exclusive for a 2 year period? And one of the deals we made was with Take Two for the next three Grand Theft Auto games. At the time, it wasn't clear that Grand Theft Auto 3 was going to be as huge as it was because it used to be a top down game. And that's one of the things as well. I remember playing the first Grand Theft Auto 3 with, some friends and stuff like that, and just being mind blown at the way that it would play. I never played the original Grand Theft Auto, but I remember I went to a friend's house one time and I seen like one of his older brothers were playing it. I didn't know it was Grand Theft Auto at the time. I just seen like this top down shooter game where this guy's kind of running around in a car and everything like that. So being able to figure out later on that that actually was the original Grand Theft Auto, and then seeing the change from that to Grand Theft Auto 3 was pretty mind blowing. And it's pretty funny now because going back, especially out of the three, when it comes down to Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, when you look at Grand Theft Auto 3, it's definitely the first one of the bunch. It's the first one of the bunch, and it's one of those things where you can definitely see the limitations it had versus the other two games. Obviously, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, they did make some more improvements that they were able to add to the game. And then with San Andreas, it was just they went all out on that one, which was really cool, especially because there's some features in that one that you don't even see to this day, kind of a thing. So the fact that they were worried that so much that they decided to do an exclusivity deal and make those games kind of will help kind of push those games to being what they are today. I think that's really cool. I think it's really awesome that they were able to kind of see the what was ahead for the franchise and everything like that. So it was very lucky for us and actually lucky for them because they got a discount on the royalties they paid. Those deals aren't uncommon in industries with platforms, including today with things like social media during finished. Grand Theft Auto also used to be a PlayStation first. Grand Theft Auto 3, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Grand Theft Auto San Andreas were all timed exclusives on the PlayStation 2, often releasing approximately a year later on PC and Xbox. The concept of timed exclusivity is more relevant now than ever, but it happened back in the early days of the console wars between PlayStation and Xbox. And when you take that into consideration, more than likely that is one of the big things that kind of did help the PlayStation 2 become such a smash hit that it was. And yeah, I mean Xbox, they were able to kind of have their own games, their own party games and everything like that themselves. But there was just something special about those, first couple of Grand Theft Autos on the PlayStation 2, especially back in the day when cheat codes were such a big thing. How you could go back and just kind of put the cheat codes in, get like unlimited guns, unlimited health kind of a thing, or like 5 stars, and then just wreaking havoc. That was the main thing that I remember personally that I would do whenever I played Grand Theft Auto, was just kind of go around killing people, having the cops chase you more so than actually trying to partake in the actual like story mode and everything like that. It wasn't until like later on when I got a little bit older that I actually tried doing the story mode and seeing what all that was about. The deal was certainly a lucrative one for both parties, as Grand Theft Auto San Andreas became the best-selling PlayStation 2 game of all time, a wildly popular console. Grand Theft Auto Vice City is the third best-selling, and Grand Theft Auto 3 is the fifth best-selling. Nowadays, Grand Theft Auto releases simultaneously on Xbox and PlayStation, but prior to the release of Grand Theft Auto 4, the series was certainly a system seller for PlayStation. And that is one of the other things I remember too, was being able to go over to a buddy's house and we'd be able to play Vice City. That was a huge one for me just because I remember, driving around thinking how crazy it was that there's like gangs that you can go up against and everything like that. So I always thought it was really fun. And then, obviously the stuff that you'd hear on the radio was just so random. And being so young at the time, I remember thinking like, man, this is a crazy game right here. But it was, like a fun thing to do. Cause like I said, one of the main things that we would do when we'd play was just wreak havoc, you know, do as much damage as we could, and then eventually get killed or get arrested. And then once one of you either died or got arrested, that's when you would kind of hand the game off to the other person, and then just kind of go back and forth. So good times. It was a fun thing. And the fact that PlayStation kind of went the route of making this an exclusive, I feel like it was a really smart move on their part. But at the end of the day, after that 2 year period, obviously with Grand Theft Auto becoming so big, it was eventually going to go to both consoles, which, at the end of the day is for the better because the more people get actually to enjoy it on both sides, as well as the people on PC. So I thought that was really cool, and I thought it was really smart for them to kind of go that route. So yeah, those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Is there anyone in here that used to play these games back in the day when they were originally released? And if so, what are you guys' thoughts on all of that stuff? So if you guys can leave your thoughts in the comments, if you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time, Harmonic out. Peace.